Hello, everyone. I'm a little bit early from my Facebook Live video, which I said was going to be at 3. Actually, I said it was going to be at noon, but I slept until noon. And then I said it was going to be at 3. So I'm on a little bit early. Um, and as many of you know, I don't usually do videos on my public page anymore. Well, I mean, I do general videos on my public page. Hi, Janetta. Welcome. I do general videos on my public page. The real deep stuff I save for the metaphysics class, um, because they pay me to be blunt. To be blunt. um, anyway, so yeah, look, a couple of things, and one of the reasons I'm coming on today is because I posted some stuff yesterday, and people have some legitimate concerns, I guess you could say. Hi, Marie. Let me a couple of things. Let me go to the Facebook post first that I post. Let me cover a bunch of Facebook posts. Now, and one of the reasons I do this is because it's one thing when I come on and I say, this is, and I give you some kind of general prediction. This is going to happen by this year, which actually is pretty specific. I mean, if nukes are flying by 2028, if Civil War II is obviously going to take place by 2022, and what I mean by that is by 2022, we'll be able to see that we're kind of past the point of no return in this country. Okay, well, I personally see it now, but just whatever. So, and when I say stuff about, Civil War II, World War III, etc., this is based on planetary positions, okay, in history. Um, and the additional details are what comes to me in visions and such. So I just want to go to my posts from yesterday, because some people wrote some good thing, and because I make people nervous, I guess, and people get concerned. And somebody wrote, let's see here, da 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 da. Let me just get some comments here. Actually, come to think of it, there's a lot I want to talk to you about today, actually. Let me just see here. Um, and bear with me, I'm just going back. Now, okay, let me tell you something too. A lexigram. I'm not going to tell you the formula for lexigrams. It's actually very easy, and you can find it yourself. Metaphysical. Okay, don't Google like lexigram in the definition because that's totally bull. Okay, I'm talking about like the metaphysical art of lexigramming, taking a word and finding out and decoding its secrets based on its numbers and the words that are hidden inside it. It is not anagramming. Anagramming you do to entertain children and for fun and party guests, okay? Lexicograms reveal the mystery and the history and the future of a word and what's behind it. All right. And there's a very specific formula you have to use because if a word is in a lexigram, it's there for a reason. Okay, anagrams don't follow really many rules. Okay, lexicograms, there's certain guidelines you need to follow. Okay, and I posted a lot of stuff about Trump, a lot of Trump prophecies, some that I've heard, some that were pointed out to me, and some that I've discovered myself. And why do I post Trump prophecies? It's not a pro-Trump campaign. It's just showing you prophecy. Okay. If it was the rise of some great world leader like, oh boy, I just paint myself into a corner. Give me an idea of a great world. I think Margaret Thatcher was a great world leader. I think Reagan personally was a great world leader. I would point out their astrology and history and stuff. If it was a Hitler, if it was a Saddam Hussein, I'd point out their astrology and stuff. So just because I'm showing you somebody's prophecies, I'm not endorsing anybody. Okay. I'm just showing you what it is. All right, because they're all in on it anyway. So I did a bunch of prophecies with very specific visions that I've had. And I've had these visions actually, sorry for the shaky camera. I've had these visions actually for years now. And I just am coming public with them kind of now. Okay. Another straight pride hate parade will occur in Boston next year. I mentioned that. Chaos will reign throughout the nation as multiple sects, sects, fight within the states. Greetings, my friend Peter. Hello, Anne. And yes, Peter, you are a good friend. So the chaos will reign throughout the nation as multiple sects fight within the state. Unlike Civil War I, this will be mixed. There will be no North and South. Okay, so back then in the first Civil War, the boundaries were defined. Mason-Dixon line, North and South, that, very specific. But look at some of the parallels that I mentioned in another video that are happening now that happened in the Civil War. We're passing, actually I didn't mention this in a video, I actually put it on a post. States are now passing legislation to counteract legislation passed by other states, for example, or federal law, for example. Okay, when Massachusetts introduced gay marriage, legislatures were lining up in different states to define sex, marriage between a man and a woman. Okay. And then comes abortion. And now that states are concerned because of the balance of power in the Supreme Court, that abortion rights are going to be taken away, Massachusetts is trying to pass the Roe Act to guarantee abortion rights in Massachusetts. Well, other states are coming up with, New York is, I'm sorry, just my opinion. New York is fucking unhinged. Okay, why don't you just kill the baby when it comes out of the womb? The laws are so fucking ridiculous. And then other states are passing, laws saying, as soon as if there's life, you just can't have an abortion. So anyway, my point is the last time states passed laws like this to counteract other states was when? Civil War, before the free states and slave states. Okay, the Missouri Compromise. The state of Maine used to be part of Massachusetts, but when Missouri entered as a slave state, Massachusetts gave up Maine as a free state, kind of balance it, whatever. Okay. So one side, and these are just, again, visions that I've had for a long time. So there won't be a North and South per se, because look at how huge the country is now. Things have changed. Okay. Look at, hi Lisa, hi Chantel. And I apologize if I'm missing anybody because I'm trying to talk and do the video at the same time. So, there'll be no definable North and South. Okay, you can see the divisions now a bit between red states and blue states. Okay, but this is a government that's dividing us. All right, and each side is just so polarized, and nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to find a middle ground. Now, for those of you watching in other countries, the UK, South Africa, I've gotten some stuff from you guys, some messages from you guys, and I am actually going to address how these things are going to affect your country as well. Your countries, okay? All right, so because we're going to be talking about World War III as well. Okay, one side of this civil war, and I don't know who these sides are. I'm getting a feeling it's going to be, because people say, well, what is it going to be now? Because, the North, it was like free, it was like maintaining the Union. It was like stopping slavery. It was, etc. This time it's different. This time the war is on religious, abortion. It's on gay rights. It's on religious, zealotry. It's on, it's all this stuff. It's the way that we've been divided over the years between red states and blue states, and we're divided on very specific issues. It's like if you're on a certain side, if you're a conservative, you have to be, a meat eater. Where you're a liberal, you're probably a vegan or a vegetarian. It's just, we're so divided, and like you could stereotype everything, and very few people cross those lines. There are some, that go in the middle, but there are very few people in this country that cross those lines, okay, and meet each other halfway. Washington, so Texas, whatever side is one side, Texas is going to be a stronghold of it. Washington and Oregon will be strongholds for the other side. This is after a great deal of the other side has been destroyed. There's some kind of rebellion or resurgence forms, like in Washington State and in Oregon. California, think like Escape from New York. Remember that old movie? Was it Kurt Russell? Whoever. It's like a land in friggin' chaos. California is just going to be in California is already almost is, but I mean it's going to be like a third world country. Now, is a good point. Why? Because look at when I predicted the Mexican invasion of the United States begins in earnest, people like, yeah, like Mexico's going to invade the United States. Da, da, da. Look at the caravans that have come up. Okay. And I said 1/3 of California will be lost. Where do they go? California. Why is this? Is this racist? Is this No, it's a fact. You cannot come into a first world country with a third world mentality and overwhelm the population of that country with a third world mentality and that country remain a first world country. It's not gonna happen. You want to people want to come to the United States and then live like they lived in their country before. So there's no logic in that. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Um, so anyway, 1/3. So California is just gonna be. I don't even know if California will play a role. It's gonna be so lost. Um, Michigan and Minnesota will see great chaos, as will Wisconsin. Now, there's going to be so many battles going on within battles. Like there'll be some racial battles, some black versus white. There'll be some like Muslim versus everybody else. There'll be some, there'll be all these things. North Carolina will see a purge-like cleansing allied with Texas. One side will bear a black and white flag bearing 3 images of the same. This flag may first be raised in Tennessee. This is karmic. Nashville. Somebody has to correct me here. Is Nashville the capital? Or I think Nashville is the capital of Tennessee, or is it Memphis? I don't know. I used to know my capitals like, no problem. But this is karmic, okay? Because in Civil War I, the Union flag, the American flag, as we know it today, the Star-Spangled Banner, was actually raised over the State House in Tennessee. And that was... so there's karma there. Okay, there's the wheel of karma. This rebel flag, this new other rebel flag, whatever this is, may be raised in Tennessee first. Okay, because that's where the other flag ended. That's where do you see what I'm saying? Okay, you get it. You get my point. Okay, Boston will be struck, specifically the medical area. What are you going to do when you want to take out a population? You're going to destroy their hospitals. Makes perfect sense. Don't be surprised if schools are struck too. Get rid of the educational system. But if you Boston has the best medical and trauma centers in the world. All right. Specifically the medical area, the city will be off limits somehow. Black smoke will reach the sky. So this is what I saw in the vision. I was standing on Revere Beach, which is just north of Boston. So this is interesting too, because if I was in Revere Beach and could look into Boston, see black smoke coming up from the sky, buildings toppled on their sides. Okay. But people were driving around the city, and people in their cars were in tears in the vision. All right, wait for my camera to focus. Okay, so people in their cars were in tears in this vision. And for something like that, if I'm standing in Revere, Massachusetts, and I'm fine, then that's a tactical strike. It's not a nuclear weapon. If it is, it's a tactical nuclear weapon designed or a dirty bomb designed to nail a certain area. And if we're in a civil war, what's the side most likely to get their hands on? A dirty bomb, as opposed to a full-on nuclear weapon. See what I'm saying? Florida will somehow be cut off, fortified from the rest of the country. This is all just stuff that I've seen. So to go to the comment section, that was a different one. Let me just go back to another post here. Civil War II will be fought between those. This is important. Civil War II will be fought between those who call themselves good but are evil versus those outcasts branded evil who are truly good. And the people that call themselves good but are evil can be misled. Okay, on a misguided crusade, given false information. Think QAnon. Okay. Missiles will strike this is getting into World War III now. Missiles will strike the U.S. from north to south with a trajectory over the Arctic Circle. This is just something I've always seen. Where are the missiles coming from? Over from the Arctic. So is that from Russia? Is it from North Korea? Where are these missiles coming from? All right. The U.S. will conquer the Aryan nation. That's Iran. The Aryans. That's what Iran. That's where it got its name. But Donald Trump is reincarnation of King Cyrus, so he already ruled Persia. In a past life, he's going to conquer it again. Okay. On that note, I'm ready to predict today, and I'm willing to predict it and put my reputation on the line. 75% certain. I believe that Trump will not serve only 2 terms. I actually think he'll serve a third. And you're like, well, the term limits. Da, 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 da. I just go with what I see. I see him serving 2 years into a third term. That's what I see. Okay. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but if the world is in chaos, it's an excuse for a leader to stay in power. Okay. The book of Revelation talks about the sky rolling back like a scroll. When does that happen? When you see a mushroom cloud, right? Russia will invade Alaska. That's something I've always seen. And people laughed at me when I said Russia was going to invade Ukraine. Okay, that was in 2011. I predicted Russia was going to invade Ukraine. Okay, welcome, Debbie. So to get to the comments, Shannon says this makes me nervous. It should. Does any of this turn out positive? Leslie asks, does any of this turn out positive? Well, did World War II turn out positive? Did the Korean War turn out positive? I mean, it's like the cycle of life. So I can't really say, what and it's the nature of war that as technology advances, wars get worse. And as there are more people on Earth, more people die. Remember, World War I was supposed to be the war to end all wars. And World War I didn't really end. It just made the grounds ripe for World War II. Okay. Shireen in South Africa. What is your prediction for South Africa? Can we form an energy that will protect our lives? You can do some stuff. You can. This is why I teach the metaphysics class, to teach people how to protect themselves in their own little universe. But you have to think of your country's value. Okay, and South Africa is a big producer of your coal mines, your diamond mines, and stuff like that. So that's that's stuff that. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about this. I'm just readjusting here. There are places that are probably going to be targets because of their oil, targets because of their gold resources, their diamond resources, etc. So that brings me into a post I made yesterday about cryptocurrency. And again, when I get criticism for a prediction, hi Stacy. When I get criticism for a prediction, it only makes me double and triple down, because then it's just all the more sweeter when it comes true. On election night, and it doesn't have to, or at the time I supported them, and not that I don't support it, I just watch now as an observer. But election night, when I was like, Trump's going to win by a landslide, and people thought I was crazy, and I'm just saying, like I'm done. And at 8:30, I tripled down. I come on Facebook, and I made a statement. I said, watch what's about to happen. And then sure enough, they're ready to put the crown on Hillary Clinton, and all of a sudden all the states start coming in for Trump. Okay, and I'm like, guys, it's in the stars, it's prophecy, it's whatever. Okay. So then I get into cryptocurrency, and I caught some flack. I don't see how crypto. And now look at this. First of all, this company Libra, cryptocurrency that Facebook is trying to launch or whatever. Isn't it interesting that the country Libra is having issues while the Sun, Mercury, and Venus Venus, which rules money, and the Sun, which rules success, are all conjunct in Libra. And the company Libra, the cryptocurrency, is having an issue. People don't pay attention to this shit. They write it off as coincidence. That's stupid. That's ignorance. That's spiritual ignorance. That means your third eye is like a rock. You're totally closed. Okay? And so I decided to, and so when some people, said, no, I don't see how it's going to happen. No, it's the future. It's I said, well, let me double check. Let me lexigram it, and let me do its numbers. So I did. Okay, now, these are some of the words that I got. Now, I will tell you about lexigrams that it's based on a higher intelligence. When people, the wordsmiths of our world come up with a word for something, and the wordsmiths of the past. It all goes back to the Tower of Babel and the one language, okay? And how for this, my belief is how Satan, for the sake of wisdom, seeded into, when God struck the Tower of Babel, seeded into languages pieces of it all, so we could put it together and learn the original one true language, okay? Will Oregon and Washington be an especially dangerous place to be when the shit hits the fan? I'm politically neutral now. Well, actually, you're probably okay in Washington and Oregon, because it's, as I see it, it's going to be a stronghold for this alliance, but a rebellion rises out of Washington and Oregon after there's some kind of strike from the other side. Again, the information I have is vague, but it's certainly more specific than just saying, hey, Civil War II is going to happen at this time. And now I'm coming out with specifics now, okay? So back to cryptocurrency. So I lexicogrammed it, and there were some interesting things here. Crypt, okay, like dead. Occurrence, okay. A crypt occurrence, okay. Turn of century. These are all things you can lexigram from cryptocurrency, following the guidelines of lexigramming. Typo. What's a typo? It's a mistake. What typo? You mean to tell me that these higher self or spirit would actually seed typo into? Yes, it would. It meets us in the language of our day. Rent. What's rent? It's temporary, right? It's not ownership. You're renting. Temporary. Cryptocurrency. Is it temporary? Yes, it is. Is it a mistake? Typo. Okay. It lexigrams the word correct. Occupy. Corrupt. Yen. Japanese yen. Euro. Okay. Current. Okay, this is the current thing. Okay, so it's like almost like a fad. Okay. How long? The number, you can actually lexigram 10. Okay. So maybe 10 years. Turn of century. So like when did cryptocurrency begin? Okay, because turn of century is here, and it's the turn of the century. It's the year 2000. Like, you see, we're 19 years into the turn of the century. Okay, current. Error. Erupt. Pence. Not Mike Pence, but like British pence, pound, pence. Okay, pound, there's no D, but you can almost spell pound. All right, but it's not there. And what's not there in a lexigram is sometimes as revealing as what is there. Ounce. Notice the reference to weight. Okay, again, Libra, scales, weight, balance. Okay. NYCE, New York Cash Exchange. Yes, you can lexigram initials. Okay. Procure. Okay, what do you do with cryptocurrency? You procure things. Okay. Pounce. Here's an interesting one. Terror. Terror in cryptocurrency. You can lexigram terror. Why? I'll get to that. There's a reason for everything. It's a letter short of tyranny. You can almost spell tyranny, but you're missing an A. Now, under the rules of lexigrams, you can sometimes replace A with I or E. So if you wanted to replace one of the E's with the I's, you could spell tyranny. Okay. It also lexigrams return to currency. Return to currency, but not necessarily cash currency. Return to what? Gold. Okay. This was interesting. You can also lexigram entropy out of cryptocurrency. And so I'm like, entropy. I'm like, and it was one of those words like, you know it, but you don't know it. So I'm like, well, let me just go look it up. Interestingly enough, entropy is used in alchemy. I omitted that definition, okay, and used the business definition because it's cryptocurrency, it's business. And the business definition of entropy: lack of order or predictability, gradual decline into disorder. And the sample they gave was a marketplace where entropy reigns supreme. My friends, after lexigramming it, and now, oh, well, let's do the numbers. Let's do the numbers. So I did it as one word. I did the numerology as cryptocurrency, one word. And then I did it as separate words, cryptocurrency. Okay? As one word, cryptocurrency, it comes to 52, which you would reduce to 16. Okay? And as cryptocurrency, it comes to a compound key number of 16 again. So that's the tower. The tower is devastation. The tower is the Tower of Babel. The tower card is card 16 in the tarot deck. Trump announced on June 16th, 2015, for the 2016 election that he was running for president from Trump Tower. Okay? He's going to overthrow nations. Now, cryptocurrency is going to be a tower moment. At some point, this is going to crash. Okay. Hi, Gene. Hi, Robin. Let me just see who else. Good question. Peter, the best book on learning lexigrams. Linda Goodman's star signs. Linda Goodman's star signs. Linda Goodman's star signs. Okay. So after doing the lexigramming and the numbers, guess what? The words tell you it's history. Cryptocurrency is going to fail. How long? Well, we can discern the number 10. The number 10 is in there. The number 1 is in there. And you have to look at prefixes too. OCT is in there. October. 8. October, Libra. Look at the Facebook Libra. Okay, guys. This is stuff that's all, right in front of our faces. Okay, right in front of our faces, and we just have to see it. So when I post the stuff, people were concerned, and they're like, "Is anything good going to come of this?" And I go, "Well, I mean, it's the cycle of life, things just kind of normalize. I mean, World War II killed millions, tens of thousands in one drop of a bomb, twice, but that was another thing too. That was the ushering into the Aquarian age. Okay, the Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus, and Uranus rules nuclear power, uranium, as does Pluto, plutonium. Okay, so the Aquarian age was ushered in with a bang, quite literally. All right, the atomic bomb, the advent of nuclear power. So that's why that was just came to me yesterday. I'm not a business person, so I don't know shit about cryptocurrency. I don't even know what it is, but I can tell by looking at the lexigram, whatever it is, it's going to fail. And I know people are saying, "Oh, that's the future." And I tried to spin it to see if the lexigram was affirming cryptocurrency. Like, is it like crypt currency, a currency crypt? Is it going to put old currency in a crypt? I looked at it that way, but after the other lexigrams, the other words, you have to look at the whole thing. Error. No, it's a mistake. Turn of century, rent, typo. Okay, so all this stuff that I saw, okay, and what was missing too, error. Okay, erupt. New York Cash Exchange. Terror. Now, I mentioned that. Why would I see terror in cryptocurrency? Why would the word terror be there? People can think I'm a tinfoil hat. I don't care. But when you get false flag attacks, when something isn't going well for the economy, and we need to wag the dog, we need a red herring, we need a false flag, the government needs a false flag. Okay, what would happen? And if cryptocurrency, as a friend of mine pointed out on my page, is going to put banks out of business, guess what? People in power aren't going to let that happen. Okay, they're not going to give up their control. So will a terror attack be associated with, it's right in the lexigram. Will some kind of terror attack involve cryptocurrency or cause cryptocurrency to crash or dip or what's going to happen. Something is there. There was a report in the news. This is why you should never trust the news. Always open your third eye when you're watching the news, because the news are such fucking liars. Okay? I saw in the news this report. The report comes out, quote unquote, that you should start using your credit cards now instead of your debit cards, because debit cards are more vulnerable to identity theft and hacking, etc. It's bullshit. It's not true. How is a debit card different from a credit card? Oh, I can tell you how. Banks aren't making interest on a debit card. They're making interest on credit cards. So let's release a report telling people that it's dangerous to use your debit card, so we can encourage more people to use their credit cards, because banks are starting to lose money on debit cards because there's no interest. There's no fee. And if people don't start using their credit cards soon, guess what's going to happen? I'll bet you $1 and a hole in a donut right now that banks are going to start charging fees to use your debit card, like $1 a transaction. Why? Because they're not getting interest on credit cards. Okay? It's all about the money, money, money. Okay. So pay attention. The news is full of shit. Okay, the news is government controlled. I want you to look up a few things. Go on YouTube, look up Operation Mockingbird. Okay, how the CIA operatives in the news. Okay, this is true shit. Operation Mockingbird. While you're there, off the beaten path, for those folks that are in the military, look up MK Ultra. Okay, now look what's happening in Turkey now. In Syria. Okay, Trump, did you ever notice when a president becomes a president, it's not too long before the new boss starts looking like the old boss? That's because they're all in it together. And I've said this again and again. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Michelle. I've said this again and again, that they're all in it together. Trump has blood ties to Charlemagne, the king of the Franks. I put on the page his mother's name. Today's her birthday. His late mother's name is Christ Trump. Her maiden name is Christ. Okay, she died on June 6th, 66, 6666. Okay, and the repetition of the number 7 around Trump, his last name Trump, for the trumpet of judgment. It doesn't mean that he's the wielder of judgment, no, but it means he's going to come at the time of judgment, at the time when this revelation stuff occurs. Okay, so all this stuff, and so here we go in Syria. Now, what was Syria? That's people say, okay, Israel's the Holy Land. Well, kind of, yeah, but Christ walked in Syria too. Okay. That whole Eden was geographically located in Iraq. Okay, so the battle for paradise, quote unquote, has been taking place for some time now. September, and this is all stuff that began on September 11th. If under the principle of cause and effect, September 11th sparked a domino effect of events, cause and effect, just like the assassination in Yugoslavia, that's Sarajevo, that started World War I, which never really ended, which led into World War II. So technically, World War I really never, it was World War II. It just got heated in 1938, okay, when Hitler invaded Austria. All right, or 37, when he invaded Austria. 38, he invaded Poland. Okay, and that's why September 11th was the prelude to World War III. When is it going to be? And look at the time difference between the start. Go Google this shit. The time difference between that assassination, I think it was the Duke Ferdinand was his name, I'm not sure, in Sarajevo, and when Hitler invaded Austria and then Poland. Look at the time differential, and then take that time differential and go from September 11th to the year 2028. I actually haven't done this myself yet, but I'm willing to bet that you're going to see very similar, like 19, 20 years, something like you're going to see a similar time frame, because the planet Uranus is approaching Gemini on the country's ascendant again. All right, so you're going to see it. You're going to see a very similar time. So I wanted to come on and just explain some things. So I'm not just trying to hi Denise. I'm not just trying to scare hi Alicia. I'm not just trying to scare people. I don't come on and say shit just to scare you and try to get readings. You know, oh, come to me for a reading or the world's gonna end. Um, by the way, ericfraze.com, just saying. Um, and yeah, if and also I haven't. You notice I haven't done a video in a bit here on my a real good video like this on my page because I have students now. I have the metaphysics class. But if you want me to make more time and do videos like this on this page, so you can get this information and stay in the loop, donate. Okay, $5, $10. I put the links for PayPal and Cash App in the description of the video. Send something. If I see that something's rolling in, it motivates me more to come on and tell you what I know and give you these prophecies and stuff and explain these prophecies to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with my students in my metaphysics class. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like a cunt, but it is what it is. I'm practical, if nothing else. So that's a couple of updates there. On the prophecies I made yesterday, I wanted to clarify so you guys don't think I'm just coming on shooting from the hip. There's a reason to everything I post, every news article I post, every link to a news article I post. It's all tied in. It's all events that are leading up to certain things. And I mentioned how presidents, all of a sudden, you notice with every president, all of a sudden the new boss starts looking like the old boss. Why are we withdrawing from Syria? And I don't know if there are any, okay, any veterans, it's mostly women that watch it, but any veterans out there that may be watching this video, and this is a genuine question. Genuine question from my heart. Anybody that fought in Iraq, anybody that fought in Afghanistan, anybody that fought in Syria, now that we see the current state of these nations, how they're pretty much in, let me see, Afghanistan is kind of back where it was before. Iraq is in shambles. They're having protests now and stuff. And now Turkey's fucking destroying Syria, killing the Kurds. Okay. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about putting your life in the line and then in the lives that we lost? Okay. And now our leaders are just kind of, you know, I've always said, and forgive me, really forgive me, because I love the military. I do. I'm pro-military, but I've always called the USMC United States Mind Control. Okay, and you know, just like QAnon, if you're going to take over a country, if you're going to in a civil war, what do you need? You need the 3%. And what is QAnon geared to? Very specifically, the 3%. Okay, and it's again, the theory is 3% of the population wins the wars in the country, and you'll see people with flags that has the Roman numeral 3 with stars around it. Those are the gun-toting, you know, Bible-carrying, gay-hating, you know, 3%. So this world is in fucking chaos, and you know, to a certain degree, when you enter the military, depending on what you're doing in the military, what you're serving, they indoctrinate you, and they alter your mind. They mind control you. Look up MK Ultra, please. Okay, and then they do their best to deprogram. It's very difficult to deprogram when you get out. Okay, so. Anyway, that's that. Those are a couple of things I wanted to discuss today. Because I put some prophecies up and people were getting nervous and like, oh my God, we're all going to die. And yeah, probably about 3 billion of us, I would say, are going to die. It's just what I see. Like I said, think of Thanos snapping his fingers, okay? And all of a sudden, half is gone. Okay. And there are 7 billion people on Earth. So, yeah, that's as far as I can go. I mean, I could go deeper, but again, I do save this stuff for my metaphysics class. Again, if you're welcome to join the metaphysics class if you want to join it. Just add me as a friend on personal on Facebook. Like I said, your electric bill, I'm sure your electric bill costs more than class does. Eric, facebook.com/eric.fraize.9. Add me as a friend. Say I want to message me and say I want to be in the metaphysics class. I'll add you, tell you how much it is. You can join, and we have some great, 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 great students, really dedicated students. And I would stay on longer today to talk to you, but I have a class tonight, so I got to save my energy for them. For you guys are my ginger snaps, okay? My class, they're my ginger snapettes. All right, they're the snapettes, okay? So if you want to be a snapette, okay, it's a little elevated than a ginger snap, okay? Add me as a friend and request to be in the metaphysics class, and we'll promote you to a snapette instead of a ginger snap. Well, I hope you learned something today. If you like the video, donate, please. It keeps me going, and it'll keep these videos going if I can see that I take in something. And people, don't feel overwhelmed. Like when you, I mean, my students, I don't expect you to donate a thing, because don't worry about that. But for the other people that are watching that want to see more of these videos here, I'm not talking like send $100 my way. Feel free. I'm talking just like $5. When I go back and I see these videos, $1. When I go back and I see these videos, like, oh, your video has 550 views. If everybody that watched that donated $1, shit, it's $550. So don't be afraid to donate something. Don't think I'm going to like look at your donation and be like, oh, that cheap bitch. It's not like that. So let me know what you think. You can comment below. I don't always see all the comments, unfortunately, just because the Facebook decides for me, apparently, what comments are relevant, and it shows me the most relevant comments. And I want to see all the comments, but Facebook just, whether it's the app, and now I'm finding out on the computer as well, Facebook just generally sucks as a rule when it comes to seeing all the comments. So but comment and let me know your thoughts, and thank you guys for watching, and I really do appreciate all of the support on this page, and I really appreciate you guys who watch and share my videos, share my page, please, okay? And the more response I get, the more videos I'll do, okay? Love you, sexy. Love you too, Michelle and Jean and everybody else, and thank you for watching. And Danetta and Peter and Alicia and anybody else I missed, I'm sorry. Debbie, Anne, okay. Yeah, that's all I got there. All right. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Let me know what you think. Take care.